The WWJD after-school program is helping kids all over Greene County.
And the Obamacare website may be up and running in no time. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this evening. I'm Brendan Keeney.
And I'm Anthony Kahn. Students and community members have the opportunity to serve kids from all around Greene County at a local after-school center. Carson Fox has more on this.
The WWJD After School Center is an after-school tutoring site for kids in kindergarten through 5th grade. At the WWJD Center, students spend a portion of their time completing homework. The children also take part in a Bible lesson and are given time to play. The final part of the program is giving the students a well-balanced and nutritious meal. The mission of the program is to reach out to families in our community by fostering positive mentoring relationships, assisting educational goals, and providing a safe environment and a healthy meal for children in the name of Jesus Christ. This year, nursing students from Waynesburg have volunteered with the program. The students prepare a well-balanced meal for the children while also teaching a lesson to students about a healthy...
So by serving these kids, we are really serving God, and we're serving a higher power, and we're almost giving back in the sense of what we've been given, and it's a pay it forward.
The nursing students' involvement has left them wanting to do more service.
Because of this experience, I do see myself involved in further service projects because I have enjoyed feeding these kids and teaching them about the importance of just eating healthy.
So the next time you are looking for something to do, stop by the WWJD Center for a chance to change a life. For Channel 14 News, I'm Carson Fox.
A borough property owner in Carmichaels was once again questioned Tuesday about the status of a lot he owns on East George Street. The condition of the lot has generated continuous controversy for years. Chris Watson was questioned as to why he did not build a fence around the 30-foot deep open basement. Resident Alan Vosel suggested the idea to prevent someone from falling into the hole. Watson claimed that he worked on his basement until an engineer told him to stop. In October, Watson was given 6 months to rebuild the basement, and he plans to start laying block by February.
A tanker truck overturned Tuesday afternoon, trapping the driver inside. The accident occurred along Route 40 in Washington County and prompted responders to pull the driver from the truck. The driver was then flown to a Pittsburgh hospital. There has been no word as to why the tanker truck overturned.
A frightening package turned out to be nothing more than a hoax for a bank teller. After holding up a community bank in Greene County, 2 gunmen left a package for the tellers, claiming it was a bomb. The Allegheny County Bomb Squad was called to investigate and determined that the package did not contain an explosive device. Despite causing a scare, there were no injuries during the holdup and no shots were fired. Anyone with more information about this holdup is encouraged to contact state police.
Technology officers claim the Obamacare website is improving and should be running smoothly in no time. We'll have all the details right after the break.
A White House technology expert says things are getting better when it comes to the failed Obamacare website. CNN's Tori Dunnan has the story from Washington.
Government information technology officers finding themselves in congressional crosshairs. They're before a House committee on the botched rollout of the Obamacare website, healthcare.gov. But the Obama administration's technology chief testified the website is getting better.
The latest number, the team's report, is about 17,000 registrations an hour.
That's up from the day it went online, but nowhere near the goal of at least 50,000 people each hour.
This wasn't a small mistake. This wasn't a scaling mistake. This was a monumental mistake to go live and effectively explode on the launch pad.
This comes as President Obama's approval rating drops to an all-time low, just 39%. The latest Quinnipiac University poll shows 54% of voters disapprove of how the president is handling his job. Just last month, his disapproval rating was 49%. These new numbers follow in the footsteps of the rollout of the troubled Obamacare website. Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers says it's not solely the president's fault.
He was not well served by his colleagues in the administration.
The big question, will the website work by the self-imposed deadline of November 30th?
It is our conviction that we can, with the fixes that are being implemented, reach that goal by November 30th.
But some argue that moving forward ultimately comes down to partisan politics.
Nobody in this room, nobody in this country believes that Republicans want to fix the website.
The White House says in the near future, the president plans to make an announcement on how to improve the health care law. In Washington, I'm Tori Dunnan reporting.
Almost 6 days have passed since Typhoon Haiyan struck the Philippines. Millions of Filipinos are left frantically trying to track down family members caught up in the disaster. CNN's Patricia Wu has the story.
As Super Typhoon Haiyan smashed into Tacloban, destroying lives, it also broke Daisy Nemeth's heart here in Hong Kong.
So your family has lived in Tacloban for generations. How many people have you been looking for?
The closest family is probably 30 or so people.
Her family's homes were about 3 blocks from the ocean.
Well, you can see the only structures that are left are like really large ones. Everything that was housing is gone.
Now Nemeth is scouring the internet for any trace of her loved ones. Her biggest worry, the youngest members of her extended family, ages 4, 6, and 8 years old.
I'm worried that they don't have someone with them. I'm worried that even if they are alive now, that they're living in the streets aligned with decomposing bodies. I mean, it sounds terrible, but that's what reality is right now. So I have no idea.
Nemeth would go search the rubble herself, but she's 6 months pregnant and the mother of twin toddlers. She has tried to hire someone to go search for her, but there are no takers. Those who manage to survive the storm may not survive the aftermath. Food, water, and medicine are scarce, and the threat of disease increases with each day. For Nemeth, each day could bring news. On this day, there is a glimmer of hope. She's gotten word that some members of her family are okay.
It's sheer luck that they were found. It's not thanks to me or anyone else in my family that they were found, even though we've been working day and night.
State of national calamity. And her family's internet search could bring more good news.
I guess a lot of the churches have been having services, because I know this isn't the only clip from a service. My sister has been going through just about all of them, and she happened to see my uncle in it. He's only there for a few seconds. I'm 99% sure that it's him.
But they don't know where the church service was or how to reach him, so the search for her beloved uncle and other missing family members continues. In the meantime, she does what she can to cope. Patricia Wu, CNN, Hong Kong.
Giant online retailer Amazon and the U.S. Postal Service are joining forces to make consumers around the United States very happy. By the end of this year, Amazon says that the United States Postal Service will be delivering packages on Sundays, a practice that has never been done before. Amazon customers with Prime memberships who order packages in the New York and Los Angeles metro areas will be the first to notice the new convenience by the end of this year. The Sunday delivery service will then expand to several other cities around the country by the end of 2014.
This past Monday, Americans took time out of their day to remember and thank all the veterans that have served our country over the last several decades. In Arlington, Virginia, however, the oldest World War II veteran was honored for his service. Richard Overton, a 107-year-old veteran who served in World War II, received praise from those in attendance and from President Obama. Among Overton's accomplishments and feats, he was present at Pearl Harbor, the Battle of Okinawa, and the Battle of Iwo Jima. After the ceremony, Overton flew back to his home in Texas, where he has resided since the end of World War II.
There was a devastating shooting that broke out yesterday at Brashear High School. We'll have all the details coming up next.
Brashear High School remains the center of attention in Pittsburgh due to a shooting that occurred yesterday. Pittsburgh police will only confirm that 3 people were shot outside the school and then ran inside the school for help. The 3 victims were taken to UPMC Hospital and Allegheny General Hospital. The nearby school, South Hills Middle School, was placed on complete lockdown until affirmation of safety from law enforcement. It was reported by Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that police have arrested 16-year-old Juanito Willett for the shootings. Police believe Willett was trying to seek revenge for a robbery and assault that took place last month. He shot 2 suspects in the head and 1 in the foot. Pittsburgh Public Schools Superintendent Linda Lane issued a statement saying both Brashear and South Hills 6 through 8 will be open today, but will be on a modified lockdown for the rest of the week. Only students, staff, and visitors with scheduled appointments will be admitted to the schools. The investigation still continues.
An investigation is surfacing about a girl who was beaten up at a bus stop on her way home from school. 13-year-old Shemaya Scott was attacked only a few blocks from her home in East Pittsburgh. Scott claims she got off the bus around 3:10 and was confronted by a male student who got off the bus at the same time. All Scott remembers is the male hitting her, and then she woke up on the ground. Scott claims she did not know her attacker, but she does know that many of the kids on the bus knew the fight would take place. The superintendent of the Woodland Hills School District claims that there will be an investigation regarding what the kids on the bus knew and why neither the bus driver nor crossing guards stopped the fight.
One woman has been arrested following the accident that occurred on the Duquesne-McKeesport Bridge around 12:30 on Wednesday morning. Police arrived at the scene to find Marshall Cotton lying on the ground, having been ejected from the vehicle with several injuries. Cotton was rushed to UPMC Mercy Hospital, listed in critical condition. The woman, Kennedy Billingsley, told police that Cotton had been driving the car. However, the police reported smelling alcohol on the breath of Billingsley, and upon further investigation revealed that Billingsley had been the driver. She will face several charges, including aggravated assault with a motor vehicle and driving under the influence.
A tragic car accident this past weekend left 2 high school football players dead. 18-year-old driver Corey Schwartz was driving with 3 of his teammates from Sharon High School when he lost control of the car and crossed the median. A head-on collision ensued, killing Schwartz, his passenger 17-year-old Evan Gill, and the other driver, 50-year-old John Zdeller Jr. Law enforcement believes speed was the main factor that caused the crash, and they do not believe that drinking, drugs, or texting were involved. The 2 other passengers from Schwartz's car, Greg and Craig Osman, were injured and required surgery. Zdeller's passengers were examined at the hospital but were not seriously injured.
Coming up after the break, April Belizio will have your business report. Stay tuned. The holidays are fast approaching. April, are there any tips for shoppers this time of year?
Yes, Anthony, there are tips for holiday shopping this year. For some, holiday shopping may lead to overspending and add up to less than a Happy New Year. CNN's Karen Kaifa has tips for shopping this holiday season.
Many Americans won't start the holiday season with a clean financial slate. If credit card debt is already mounting, leave the plastic alone.
Maybe you can't do what you really want to do during the holidays in terms of everything you want to give your kids or your friends, but if you stick with cash, your situation at least won't get any worse.
Sticking to cash on hand requires a more disciplined approach and a budget. In addition to gifting family and friends, factor in others that are often overlooked, like tips for babysitters and hairdressers. Credit card expert Beverly Harzog urges shoppers to be honest about that budget. And don't rely on potential money like a holiday bonus that may not materialize.
Stick with what you know you have in your accounts at the moment, your current cash flow, and plan your budget around that. That way you won't have any unpleasant surprises. The last thing you want to do is end up in debt when 2014 rolls around.
If a large purchase is going on a credit card, make a smart choice. Use a rewards card that will earn points, miles, or cash back. And resist being tempted by those deals that promise instant savings by opening a store credit card. They tend to have higher interest rates, meaning you may still be paying for this year's gifts next year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kaifa.
Gas prices have continued to fall. AAA says the average of gas per gallon is around $3.19. That's 6 cents cheaper than a week ago and a quarter cheaper than it was a year ago. As for the rest of 2013, prices are expected to drop as AAA estimates the average cost of gas per gallon could go as low to $3.10. The newest Apple iPad mini went on sale Tuesday, but not at any Apple stores. That's because it is only available online at Best Buy and from wireless partners AT&T and T-Mobile. Supplies appear to be limited, and Apple has not yet said when it will be available in stores. American Airlines and U.S. Airways are going to merge, which will create the world's biggest air carrier. On Tuesday, the Justice Department announced a settlement that gives way to the mega merger. Before the merge can occur, the airlines have to fix a key concern officials lodged an antitrust lawsuit. With the combining carriers, it would reduce choices for customers and give the company control at some major airports. With the agreement, the two airlines will have to sell some of their gates to low-cost carriers. For Channel 14 Business, I'm April Belizio. Your Jacket Sports Update with Austin Anderson starts right after this.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Libby the library cat found her love for books at the Bowlby Library. Bowlby Library, located off of West Street in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, is a free public library that offers different services to the residents of Greene County. The library includes both a children's department as well as an adult section. The family literacy department offers different tutoring opportunities as well as computer classes. For more information about library services, please visit www.evakbowlby.org.
Austin, is there any big news in Waynesburg sports this week?
Yes, Brennan, a lot of exciting stuff's going on with the Waynesburg sports teams. The Waynesburg University wrestling team nearly completed a come-from-behind victory against NCAA Division II opponent West Liberty, but the Jackets ended up falling short by a team final score of 24-18. Waynesburg was losing 9-0 after 2 matches, but won 4 of its next 6 matches to take an 18-15 lead. Those wins were from senior Luke Lohr, junior Jake Vitolo, senior Anthony Bonventura, and senior Cameron Fine. West Liberty's Danny Doyle and Aaron Silverio then won the last 2 matches via a 4-3 minor decision and a pin at 8:15 into the match respectively to seal a 24-18 West Liberty victory. On Friday, the men's and women's basketball teams will start their respective seasons. The men will travel to Penn State Altoona for a 7:30 tip-off, while the women will host Bridgewater College at the Rudy Marisa Fieldhouse beginning at 8 p.m. The men will come into conference with a 5th place preseason ranking, while the women are projected to finish 4th. The men will have their first home game next Wednesday against Marietta College. The final week of the regular season is upon us as the Jacket football team will head to Washington to take on the presidents of W&J. If the Jackets win on Saturday, they would tie the presidents for second in the PAC with a conference record of 6-2. That would send the Thomas More Saints to Division III tournament, as they have clinched at least a share of the title with a 7-1 conference record. If the Presidents win, they will share the PAC championship with Thomas More and receive the Division III tournament berth due to the win over the Saints. The rivalry game starts Saturday at 1:30 p.m. and can be heard live on WCYJ-FM or watched on WUSN's coverage right here on WC-TV. As the fall sports come to a close, the President's Athletic Conference has named many of its all-conference athletes and coaches this week. In women's soccer, senior Susie Godwin was named first-team All-PAC, while fellow teammates senior Missy Coleman and junior Emily Mulady were honorable mentions. On the men's side, senior Tim Fields and Zach Morgan were named first and second All-PAC respectively, while junior Nick Brommer was an honorable mention. Coach Carl Griffiths was named PAC Coach of the Year. In volleyball, sophomore Jessica D'Orazio was named honorable mention to the volleyball conference team. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to senior Anthony Bonaventura for being named this week's Waynesburg University Athlete of the Week. Bonaventura won the 165-pound class bracket in the W&J Invitational last Saturday. Bonaventura won his first 2 matches of the day, then earned a ticket to a title match with an 8-4 win against David Diabenetto. He won the title with a 7-6 overtime victory against Jordan Powell from Teal. Congratulations to Anthony. I'm Austin Anderson, and that's sports. Up next, Ryan Schwartfager has the latest headlines in this week's Yellow Jacket.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone. But you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
President Lee held his first ever press conference this past Monday. Ryan, can you tell us more about it?
I certainly can, Anthony. A new issue of the Yellow Jacket hit stands today, and here's a preview of what you'll find in this week's newspaper. Waynesburg University President Douglas G. Lee gave his first press conference this past Monday. Since graduating from Waynesburg University in 1981, Lee has developed his own insurance business, became a partner at a prestigious law firm, and competed in 3 Ironman triathlons, all while serving in several capacities at his alma mater. He admitted during the November 11th news conference the first 5 months of his presidency are quite possibly more fulfilling than any other professional endeavor. As he continues to delve into his first presidential term, Lee hopes to complete several of his goals, including strengthening the university and its students through the mission statement and by enhancing the institution's reputation. According to the Center for Disease Control, in 2011, out of a national sample for grades 9 to 12, 20% reported being bullied on school property, 12% reported being in a physical fight on school property, and 7.4% reported being threatened with a weapon on school property. Schools in Greene County, like Carmichael's, held a mock disaster shooting. The event was centered on a shooter located inside the school and trained police officers armed with paintball guns. The mock disaster shooting was based on developing a plan in case of an incident. As reported here last week, the Student Senate voted to change the way things are run. After the Student Senate vote on Tuesday, an amendment was approved that will change the way students are represented. According to the new system, students will vote for senators by class to create a body of 16 representatives comprised of 4 senators from each class. The aim of this reform is to encourage students to make an effort to learn about each candidate and vote for the one they believe will best represent their class. When classes resume next semester, interested students will have a few weeks to campaign before a campus-wide election is held. The exact dates for these elections have yet to be decided. For the last 4 years, there has been one word that many have used to describe American Chemical Society, or the ACS chapter in Waynesburg University: outstanding. For the 4th consecutive year, the chapter has been awarded the Outstanding Chapter Award. Every year, the ACS gives out over 250 awards to ACS chapters around the country. The awards are based on 3 categories: honorable mention, commendable, and outstanding. You'll find these stories and more in this week's Yellow Jacket on stands right now. And to view the publication online, visit www.issuu.com/WU Yellowjacket. Reporting for the Yellow Jacket newspaper, I'm Ryan Schwertfeger. With a look at this week's weather, here's JD Leidick.
It's W&J week and the weather is looking good for Saturday's showdown. I'll tell you what we can expect for kickoff along with a full 5-day forecast. All this and more coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family.
It's W&J week and the weather is looking good for Saturday's showdown. I'll tell you what we can expect for kickoff along with a full 5-day forecast. All this and more coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Currently, it's 45 degrees here in Waynesburg. Today, we'll see partly cloudy skies with a high of 48. Tonight, the temperature will be chilly, around 29 degrees. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Friday, some clouds will move into the area for the semifinal high school football matchups. The high is expected to be 52 with a low at kickoff of 34. Taking a look into the weekend, on Saturday, it will warm up, getting back into the 60s with partly cloudy skies. The low at night will be around 46 degrees. Sunday, we'll see the rain return with a high of 63. Temperatures during the evening will be about 54. And as we get ready to return to work, Monday, we will see thunderstorms with a high of 61. Chance of rain, 60%. The low at night will drop to around 37 degrees. And to wrap up the 5-day forecast, we will see temperatures drop back to the low 40s with a high of 40 and a low of 23. Currently, it's 45 degrees here in Waynesburg. For Channel 14 Weather, I'm JD Leidick.
Thank you for joining us on Channel 14 News this semester.
Tune in next semester for Live at 5. Have a great weekend, everyone, and enjoy the holidays.